Smaller, cheaper, more sensible motorcycles continue their push to dominate the market. So is there still a place for the big, impractical, expensive ones? The Scrambler 1200 XEs, the Rocket 3s, the Gold Wings, the Great American Freedom Barges from Harley and Indian. Do those still have a place in the market and in our hearts? There's no question the motorcycle industry is in transition. The last time we saw something like this was back in the 70s. This time, it's not necessarily gas prices that's driving the shift, although lately I'm sure it's a contributing factor. Instead, it's something much quieter. Riders are questioning what they actually need in a motorcycle, and the motorcycle industry is scrambling to fill a need that both exists and has legs. Look at the numbers. Sales were up in 2025 for adventure bikes under 600cc. Same for trail bikes and small displacement sport bikes. At the same time, so-called touring bikes were down 13% and cruiser sales down 6%. Smaller displacement motorcycles are more appealing to younger riders, women, and older riders new to riding because they're more accessible. They're also cheaper, easier to insure, and let's face it, a whole lot of fun. I should note that this is in the United States and some other parts of the world, but globally, for whatever reason, the medium and large displacement market is projected to grow, not by leaps and bounds, but still. So what gives? Well, I studied journalism in college, not global economics, so I'm not qualified to say. Ask me a question about how to interview an economist and I might be able to help you. But as far as economics themselves, not so much. What I do know a bit about is motorcycles, and my hunch is the shift to smaller, cheaper motorcycles has less to do with cost and more to do with the whole ADV craze running its course. We've come around to the idea that we're not getting cast in the next season of Long Way Round, and maybe we never actually wanted to be in the first place. We're becoming more realistic and we want something more practical than a 600-pound, $30,000 two-wheel Jeep Cherokee with a German pedigree. Or do we? Motorcycles at their core were never supposed to be practical, at least not in the US market. If you wanted something practical, you'd buy an AMC Pacer. No, motorcycles are more than just a means of transportation. They're a means of transportation for your soul. And while I puke when I hear there's no replacement for displacement, there are times when you really just want to feel 1200 cc's of pure, atomized dinosaur exploding between your legs. That's the transportation for your soul that I speak of. When I was a kid, my parents, in some sort of attempt to bring normalcy to my otherwise Italian upbringing, decided it was time I learned to ride a horse. I don't recall ever begging for the opportunity to learn to ride a horse, but there it was. Listen, we weren't rich, so these were budget horses. Other kids rode good horses, I rode the stupid ones, the boring ones, the ones that could pick last for kickball, if you know where I'm coming from. Anyway, one day I found my horse so uninspired, so completely lacking in anything that resembled the majesty of a horse, that while riding it, I purposely fell off the ugly bastard and pretended to hurt my arm, just to get out of riding the stupid thing. That was probably a perfectly fine horse, a practical horse, if you will. It had all the horse parts mostly in the right places, and it made attempts at doing horse-type things. What more could you ask for? It was essentially a Chinese-built 450cc horse that anyone could afford to ride. It's just that it sucked. I'm not sure how we got on horses here, but let me bring it back to motorcycles. Sooner or later, we'll all be riding Duracell-powered plastic motorcycles with all the soul of an ABBA tribute band. There are many reasons this will happen. Combustion engines will be legislated off the face of the earth. It won't matter because gas, at the way things are going, will be $40 a gallon and rationed like cheese. Gen Z, or whatever those little brats are called, will dominate the market, and since they were raised by iPads, they'll feel right at home on their new Tesla cybercycles. And if you just died a little inside, know that I did too, deeply. The death of motorcycling as we know it, and in fact, cars and trucks as we know them, is not long off. The whole industry is in some sort of odd limbo hospice state, and it's just a matter of time before the gas pumps go dry and we're all hooking up our motorcycles to a power strip. So while I think it's fantastic that smaller displacement motorcycles are having their day, I really am, by the way, since I am a huge fan of my Himalayan 450 and all of the other bikes like it. While smaller bikes are having their day, let's not rush to celebrate the inevitable demise of big, impractical, gas-guzzling monsters that are way too tall, heavy, expensive, and overpowered. Because once those bikes are gone, they're gone. There's no coming back. I make no qualms about my love for the Scrambler 1200XE. It wouldn't be my first choice for a city bike, or a commuter bike, or a trails bike, or an ADV bike, or... Well, you get my point. But it's large, it's loud, it's faster than balls, and way more capable than I'll ever be, especially at this age. And I love it because of all of that. So while I'll poke a little fun here and there at the Harley and Indian guys, or the Starbucks warriors on their GSs, I respect what they're all about, and I get it. And I'll probably be one of those guys in 10 or 20 years. If those kind of bikes even exist in 10 or 20 years. My point is, while smaller bikes are fantastic, so too are the big ones, and I think time is running out for them. If the smaller bike trend doesn't kill off big bikes, electric motorcycles will. That's almost guaranteed at this point. Until that happens, though, I hope big, impractical bikes can still exist and thrive in a world that has better, cheaper, more practical options. Thanks for watching.